Hey folks, this is ioEther. I'm back with some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Hori Sniper in his VK7201K. This is the first time we've ever had this tank on the channel, so I am going to go ahead and show you the armor model in a second. First off, of course, we're on Paris. It's a tier 10 game, and I've accidentally hit the pause button because I'm an idiot occasionally. That's because I've talked with my hands, even when they're off camera, and so I smacked the pause button. Yep, that's amazing, right? Okay, so before we actually get into the gameplay, first off, if you like this and you think it deserves the MVP for the week, then please hit that like button. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, and all things thank the Patreons. However, before we actually get back into the game, we're going to swap over to the armor view. Oh, look at that. He's using heat. I wonder why. I wonder if he's doing marks of excellence on this thing. I noticed he only has the one to start with. I wonder if... I don't know. We'll have to ask him. And, and then in the comments below, maybe he'll actually tell us. But I'm going to try and remember how to swap you guys over. If I do that, does that? Haha. Now, can I swap myself over exactly as smoothly? That seems unlikely. There we go, though. There we go. Now we're both looking at the same thing. So basically, the front of this thing is incredibly unlikely to be gone through at all. So if you're looking at the front of this thing and it's angled properly, and you're not gonna pen anything. The only part you have a chance of penning is this upper engine deck part. However, you're gonna have to be really close to him and looking down at it, and even then, I mean, it's gonna be unlikely. And you have to be really close to him, which is going to be a problem in a completely different way. But anyways, so 40 millimeters of armor means that some of the guns in the game can overmatch it, and if yours can, then go ahead and overmatch his armor, assuming, of course, you can find the shot. Otherwise, the only way you're going through this thing is you're looking for when he turns his turret away from you, and then you're going to have beautiful shots through this armor here. Even as little as this, you'll be able to put shots through. So whatever he does, he's got to be looking more or less straight at you. Otherwise, the side armor on this turret gets really low. And so, the cupola you can shoot through, but it's kind of ranges. So I mean, if you can do more than 250 every time, then sure, but you still got a decent chance of bouncing off because it is incredibly rounded, this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much how you want to kill this thing. You want to wait till he turns the turret and shoot through his side. If you can get up close and personal and put a round down through the engine deck, then you can go ahead and try that. Other than that, you can pull it if you have to. Of course, if you can catch this thing in the side, then it's just full of death, right? I mean, this thing is only good if you're facing right at the enemy. Other than that, his armor is worthless. So, good luck, and let's see how badly his Hori's enemies screw up in this one. Okay, let's flip back to tanks. Again, I actually made that look pretty smooth, didn't I? Somebody's gonna be like, no, you didn't. But we're gonna speed this up as I get back into the game. Actually, we're gonna slow it down while I take a drink. So he was looking for a shot on the 140 or something else that was poking out around that corner. But unfortunately for him, nothing was there. And of course, now that I've taken a drink, is when my body's like, oh, by the way, you're a little tired. So of course, I can't get through a video without stifling a yawn. Sometimes I just... Ooh, look, a Type 5. Well, that poor guy is in pain. And he didn't even get to shoot, so I don't know why he pulled back. Oh, look at that, moss. So now, Warrior's looking to put a shot through the moss. Ooh, I think he bounced that off the Type 5, though. He was looking for that cheek of the Type 5. I don't know if it was heavily enough angled, though, to flatten out the way he wanted it to. I think it was still rather... oh, really? Okay, hello, Mr. Moss. If you're just going to sit there and present a flat cheek of a turret, then we're just going to shoot you, right? I mean, that's how that works. He's getting told to fall back. Good lord, my voice today. Oh, hopefully that is enough water to keep my voice around, because otherwise it's going to be a really embarrassing recording. I don't have time to re-record this. And I don't want to. This is a great game. I've really enjoyed this so far. Oh, that snipe, though. He was looking for that driver's hatch, found it. And that is another 700, almost 800 damage, actually. Actually, when you think about it, that's almost 800 damage he just did. And then he just, like, pushes the 268 out of the way. Because it's in his way, and it obviously wasn't paying attention. So this Type 5 is starting to get really angry, I'm sure. The fact that he just pops around the corner and does another 500 damage to it and finishes it off. I don't even know if that thing did any damage. Or if it did, it didn't do a lot. And so he's gotta be mad. But thankfully, we can't see the chat of... What is the mouse looking at? I mean, I understand wiggling your gun around to wiggle your turret around to make it harder for enemies to shoot a weak spot. But he's just staring at the sky under a bridge. You can't shoot through the bridge. I don't think you can shoot through the bridge. I'm pretty sure you can't shoot through the bridge. Why are you staring up through the bridge as if he looks like he's looking for a victim, right? He looks like he's waiting for somebody to walk into his sights so he can shoot them. But that's unlikely because, well, you know, it's not possible. Ooh, shooting on the move. He misses the 140. He's coming up here. He looks like he's gonna swing around the long way. He could take good way. I just woke up and apparently it's too early to record as far as my body is concerned, apparently. He could take the long way, but he's actually, or he could take the shortcut, but he's actually going to take the long way. This means that if the T-62A decides it wants to attack him from the rear, it's going to expose itself to a bunch of friendly fire, and it's going to die. I say as it sprints across a gap, and apparently nobody shoots it. Ooh, he bounces because he hit that. Yeah, he's mad at that. Yeah, I'd be mad too. Oh man, that bounce though. Yeah, Yagzilla takes down the T-62A. Now we don't have to worry about something on our flank. And he's just going to go ahead and push into the 140. The 140 is the biggest danger to him right now. Was the biggest danger to him. Ooh, except for the Yagzilla, who clearly smacked him on the side of the shirt. Wait, where did the Yagzilla hit us? There should be a giant hole in this tank, right? Am I missing this hole? Can you guys see it, or is there not a hole in the tank? I don't think there's a hole in the tank. I think somehow he got shot for 1100 damage and there's no hole in the tank. Which is a bit strange, really, right? Now, obviously he doesn't want to walk around the corner side on into a Death Star, because that's a good way to die. Now, if he was, you know, not a nice person, he could grab his 140 here friend and just slide him out in front of the Death Star. But that would be bad, and so I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's actually going to try and bait the shot out of the Death Star. And that's exactly what the 140 is trying to do as well, by the way. Oh, no, wait, maybe he's, I don't know what that was about. He does threaten to push him out. That's awesome. Because obviously he's not going to do it. Actually pushing him out would be wrong. But threatening to push him out is just funny. Ooh. He's not exposing anything to that Death Star that Death Star could take advantage of. I like that. As soon as the Death Star twitches and looks the wrong way, he just comes around the corner and shoots him. And now the Death Star is fired, his allies are going to take the Death Star out. Yeah, there we go. I didn't really think that T-62A and an Object 140 weren't going to reload fast enough to take out a Death Star before we could reload. But it kind of looked that way for a second, right? It's going to be... Oh, actually, you know what? We got shot by the Auxiliary. So he's actually looking this way. Man, we're still going to speed up a little bit. There we go. So now that we're a lot closer to cap, there's only a few enemies left on the enemy team. And one of them is way over there, so we ain't going to be facing him. He's against the T-57 Heavy on our team. Unless he kills the Heavy. Oh, I don't... You know what? Yeah, that was a good shot. I was really up in the air about him shooting the hull right there. Because of the angle the exit was on, it felt a lot like he was going to ricochet that off. However, I forgot that he's firing heat, and so of course that was the angle he wanted to go for. He did not want to go for the tracking shot at that time, because heat would just get absorbed by the tracks and not do anything. So it was a really good shot, a really good job not taking the quote-unquote easy shot, and in fact going for the side shot, which in most of the time is worse, but in this particular instance was exactly the right move to make. 140 getting itself nuked. I guess he figured that the Yagzel had already fired, or he thought he could outdistance it, like he could get across the Yagzel's field of fire before the Yagzel realized he was there. But I'm guessing the Yagzel was not scoped in and just watched the 140 come and just like pop dead 140. Unfortunately, though, that does mean that unfortunately for the Yagzilla anyway, that did mean that we got to walk out and just pop one straight through him. And heroes is definitely the right word right there. As that is definitely what you were in this game. By far, picking this game up and just dragging it across the finish line. The fact that we killed most of the Type 5 by ourselves was one of the parts where he just like picked up his team and just started walking, right? Anyways, we're going to flip over to the battle results now, and we'll see what those are like. Mastery Badge, Second Class, Fire for Effect, and the High Caliber. I'm not really surprised he got the High Caliber, considering all this. Also, that's a lot of credits. So, 8,500 points of damage. And the next highest was 5 grand from the 268, who was next to him most of this game, by the way. So that means the rest of his team did next to nothing. Which is a little bit... Wait. Who is he platooned up with? What? What? Okay. Apparently he's platooned up with himself. Cool. Anyways, so the rest of his team did next to nothing in that game. And he just had to pick up and carry the game. And so he did. Really well done by Hori. Without him, this game would have been a total and complete disaster. That Type 5 would have ran rampant. Now, he fired gold the entire game. I'm assuming that's because he's going for his marks of excellence. I don't really know though, so you're gonna have to ask him in the comments. He would have made he made 100K. He would not have made money, but he wouldn't have lost a whole lot had this gone, without the reserve. But with the bonus, of course, he makes a little bit of money, and he walks away with a ton of experience. He also is actually pretty accurate, only missing the one shell. I don't even remember what shell that was that missed, or 2 shells missed. Sorry, I remember one on the 140 that bounced, and he was really, really upset about that one. I don't remember what shells missed entirely though. Overall, this was a great game. I'm so happy I finally have a VK. What a 7201K on the channel. Yeah, it makes me happy. So this was an awesome game. I'm looking forward to more games from Hori coming in. And in the meantime, have a great night. Please, if you like this video, hit the like button. Especially if you think that Hori deserves the MVP for the week. Also, if you want to see more of this kind of content, then feel free to subscribe. And all things, thank the Patreons. If you want to become a Patreon, then there's a link in the description. There's also a link on my homepage on YouTube. And yeah, even as little as $1 is really helpful. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And this is ioEther out.